So I was tested this week, a few days ago, through a number of situations of various kinds that have tested my resolve, my manhood, my patience, and my kindness, which is not to be mistaken as weakness. I understand that I have a very physical and intimidating, often huge presence about me. And sometimes that is often misread, and it can be a little bit confusing because I'm by nature very silent. I sit back. I don't say much and I don't talk much. But when I do, it's usually because I have something to say. But when people do hear me speak, they are often taken back because my demeanor does not necessarily match my physical attributes. It's not usually what they're expecting from me. So you can imagine my challenge when I'm often challenged by people because I am so chill and because I mind my own business. It's kind of mind blowing to me, the type of disrespect that comes my way, because I'm like, do you not think that I'm that dude? Do you not think that I won't turn this motherfucker out? I have a very unique set of skills. I train very hard to be deadly, not so I can go out and necessarily be a mean person, but so I can be peaceful, because I want to be the warrior in the garden and not the gardener in the war. That's by Sun Tzu. See, so I realized that those are people's projections. And when people project onto you, I like to think that my superpower is my ability to remain calm, especially because I don't want to be victim, or I don't want to play victim. And I definitely don't want to play victim to the two mentalities that is going on in my mind and often in everybody's mind. We all experience two type of voices, and that's that bitch voice and that boss voice. So I was inspired a few days ago to make this. And yeah, this is going to be raw and uncut today. And I was talking to a group of young men, and obviously circumstances don't matter, so I'm not going to get into the details of that. But what I was trying to explain to them and get them to understand is you need to control what you can control, and only worry about the things that you specifically as a person, as a man, have control over. And those things are your attitude, your responsibilities, and also making sure that you check those entitlements. You do not need to be validated by anybody else but yourself, because that's not how adults or professionals, in this case, or aspiring young professional athletes, to be specific, conduct themselves, because it's not somebody else's job to check yourself. Those things that you cannot control, then you have to know the difference and make a point to choose which direction that you want to go. Epictetus wrote, "A true man is revealed in difficult times." Think about that. So I was telling a story one day about how we need to be careful of the things that we allow to come out of our mouths, because words cast spell. And I'm getting to my point. I'm just painting a picture for you guys. And this is actually where we get spelling from. So we're all casting spells on ourselves or at others. So the things that we predominantly think will eventually come out of our mouths, making our dominant thoughts the things that we manifest. So think of lawyers are masters of manipulation and masters of words. They're casting spells upon people that they're representing or casting judgment onto. Think about that. So we all have two sides. And this is what we call duality. And I'm being funny, but some of us may have more than two sides. But this, in short, is what we call the yin and the yang, the Shiva and the Shakti, the demon and the angel. Hopefully you guys kind of get my point here. It's all just energy anyway. It's all just levels of awareness and perspectives. So you can have a lower level of awareness or vibrations, or you can have higher levels of awareness or vibrations. And so this is what we would call good and evil, or black and white. These are just all various levels of perspective, and they flow in and out of each other. So these two sides gives us voices, and the voices that dominate our thinking are often the voices that dominate how we conduct ourselves or conduct our lives. So one side typically is going to dominate the other. And this is where we tend to get our biases from. We start to make decisions based off of the one perspective, not thinking about the other perspectives. But you have two ways, or you have two voices, and I'm going to label them, and I'm going to make this very plain for you guys. You have that bitch voice, and you have that boss voice. They will always present themselves simultaneously. But which one will you choose? So I'm just going to say it like this, and I'm going to say it the way I say it. I urge you to get that bitch about your voice. That bitch voice will have you doing some lower level energetic things, because most of us aren't aware of the things that dominate our thinking, which often dictates the direction of our lives. How we do one thing is how we do everything. You guys tracking with me? See, that bitch voice is the unconscious awareness of the things that we choose based off of those biases and opinions and your backgrounds. And so when you have a lack of awareness, that's when you start to play victim, and you're not taking control of your life and moving the fuck on or moving forward. You see what I'm saying? So I urge you, so instead of listening to that small-minded voice, I want you to tap in and listen to that more powerful voice, which allows you to sit back, be quiet, be calm, think before you speak, see the upsides in everything, because everything can be both the lesson and the blessing. Listening to that small-minded bitch voice will have you emotional instead of having you have the emotional maturity to realize there's always two sides to the story, including the story that you're telling yourself. Listen, I know it's not easy, and it's not supposed to. Freedom, isn't free. So we all have free will, but we have to realize free will doesn't come freely. There's a cost to that. And the cost is what we call discipline. So you have to have discipline to choose the life-bringing energy that is the energy over the choices that bring death or destruction to your life. See, outcomes, everything has an outcome. And so you can have an outcome that brings negativity, or you can have an outcome that brings positivity. It's really all up to you. That's what we call the beautiful struggle. It's the irony and the contrast of life. So instead of fucking bitching about it, embrace it, because it's always there. There are no mistakes and there are no regrets, just unfulfilled desires and the inability for you to see the things that were for your benefit and not for your detriment. Everything is all working out for your betterment. So when you boss up, you also rise up to the occasion. And in spite of all those challenges that might arise, you need to persevere and realize you got that dog in you, that boss in you. But when you bitch up, it's usually because of the fear. And fear starts to cripple you, and it makes you go into survival mode. And that makes you weak. It makes you weak physically and mentally. Sometimes you have to grow up and boss up. We have to work up to the boss up so we can go get up. Understand? So I didn't want to make this long and drawn out. I wanted to make this motivational, but I have to make it motivational in my most authentic voice. And so, you know, this is a side of me. Most people don't see this side of me. So they see the calm, the cool, collected. Nah, fuck that. We about to get real. And I'm about to give it to you raw. So that was the message for today. And I'm signing out.